Good morning, dear students. Today I am here with fourth part of the chapter, The Lifelines of National Economy. As in previous video, we studied about air transport and communication, mass communication and personal communication. So today we are going to study about international trade. International trade plays very important role in economic development of a nation. The exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. Exchange of goods among people, state, and country is known as trade. The market is the place where all these activities take place, where all these exchange take place. Trade between two countries is called international trade. If the trade is between two countries, that is called international trade. It may take place through sea, through air route, or through land routes. While local trade is carried in cities, towns, and villages, local trade means where the trade is carried between cities, towns, and villages. State level trade is carried between two or more states. The trade between two or more states is known as state level trade. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index to its economic prosperity. Advancement of international trade is index of economic development of a nation. The development of a nation can be assessed by international trade. If a country has better international trade, that country is most prosperous. As the resources are space bound, no country can survive without international trade. Today, no country is sufficient. That is why all countries are depend upon each other. Export and import are the component of trade. Export and import, these are two components of international trade. The balance of trade of a country is the difference between its export and import. The balance of a trade of a country, balance of trade means difference between import and export. What is the balance of trade? Difference between import and export. Difference between import and export is known as balance of trade. When the value of export exceeds the value of import, it is called a favorable balance. When the value of export is more than the value of import, that is called favorable trade. And when the value of import exceeds the value of exports, it is termed as unfavorable balance. If the value of imports exceeds the value of export, it is termed as unfavorable balance. So favorable balance means when export is more and import is less. And unfavorable balance means when import is more, export is less. Right? So what is trade balance? Basically the trade balance means difference between import and export. Difference between import and export is known as the trade balance. Favorable balance when export is more, import is less. Unfavorable balance when import is more, export is less. So these are the favorable and unfavorable. India has trade relation with all the major trading blocks and all geographical regions. So we have trade relation with almost country of the world, and India is the member of WTO. So being a member of WTO, India have trade relation with almost countries of the world. So international trade plays very important role in the economic development of a nation. And international trade is also the index of development of a nation, the index of prosperity of the nation. So there is a trade balance. What is the trade balance? Difference between import and export. Difference between import and export is known as trade balance. And favorable balance means when export is more and import is less. That is called favorable. And unfavorable balance means when import is more and export is less. That is called unfavorable balance. So India have trade relations with almost countries of the world, and we are the member of WTO. So, being a member of WTO, we have trade relation with all member countries of WTO. Tourism as a trade now next. Tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Today, tourism is considered as industry. So this tourism industry developed in India since the last 3 decades. Foreign tourists arrived in the country witnessed an increase of 11.8% during the year 2010. So number of tourists increasing in our country. In fact, a large number of foreigners are coming to country, and it is good for economy. These are the old data. In 2020, 5.78 million foreign tourists visited India. More than 15 million people are directly engaged in the tourism industry. More than 15 million people are directly or indirectly involved in the tourism industry because it is also providing employment. Except that, tourism also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicraft and cultural pursuits. Then the tourism promote national integration. When the two countries people come together, they exchange their civilization, they exchange their culture, they exchange their goods, so it brings a feeling of integrations. Tourism also promotes national integration. It provides support to local handicrafts, except that if foreigners come, it support to the local handicrafts and also to cultural pursuit. It also develop it also help in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. Foreign tourists, when a foreigner comes, so we exchange our civilization, we exchange our culture, and we develop our understanding. Right? When the people are coming from one country to another country, so they are exchanging their culture, they are exchanging their civilizations, and they are coming together to each other. So there are different type of tourists. In India, some are the heritage tourists. The tourists, those who are coming to visit the historical monument like the Red Fort, Jama Masjid, and number of historical monuments of India. The tourists, those who are coming to visit historical monuments, those are called heritage tourists. Ecotourism, a number of tourists, they are coming to study about the ecology, environment, they are known as the ecotourists. Adventure tourism, the people those who are coming for adventurous tasks like the mountaineering, rafting, like that, they are called adventure tourism. Cultural tourism means the people those who are coming for cultural exchange, they are called cultural tourism. Medical tourism, the people those who are coming for medical help. And business tourism, the people those who are coming for business purpose. So there are the different type of tourists. So when a foreigner comes to a country, he definitely brings economy. That is why all the countries of today are providing facilities for the foreign tourist, because when the foreigners come to a country, he brings the economy. That is why government also give the special emphasis for tourism. So there are different type of tourists. Some are heritage tourists, those who are coming to country to visit the historical monuments, to study about them and to know about the past of them. And some are ecotourism. Some are coming for adventurous tourism, for mountaineering, rafting and other adventurous purposes. Some are coming for cultural exchange. They are exchanging their culture, they are exchanging their civilizations, and they are showing the cultural programs. And some are coming for medical tourism. Some are coming for treatment, they are called the medical tourism. And some are coming business tourism. Today, because of the MNCs, the number of business tourism is more. Because today MNCs are functioning across the boundaries, That is why large number of tourists are coming for business tourists. There is a vast potential for development of tourism in all part of the country, no doubt. There is a lot of potential for the development of tourism. Efforts are being made to promote different type of tourism for the upcoming industry. So this is upcoming industry, and the government also paying more attention in this tourism because it brings economy and tourism provides employment to the people. So dear student, in this chapter we studied about the lifelines of national economy. So under that we studied about the transport and communication. Transport and communication, that is the lifeline of the economy of the nation. The countries those who are having better transport system, the countries those who are having better information system, and the countries those who are having the better technology, today they are the prosperous countries. So in this chapter we studied about the land transport, roadways, railways, role of railway and railways in the economic development. Then we studied about the water transport, different seaports, then air transport, the fastest means of transport. Then we studied about communication, personal communication and mass communication. And finally, the international trade, because international trade also plays very important role in the prosperity of the nation. Then we studied about the tourism. It is like the industry, it is providing more employment, but unfortunately this time because of COVID-19, the tourism is hit very badly. Anyway, we are hopeful in coming time again the tourism will flourish. So this tourism industry providing employment and exchanging culture and civilization among various countries and promoting integrations. So dear student, I hope now you can understand the lifelines of national economy. Thank you.